Welcome to AB's Real Time Talk Show, episode 7. And today we'll discuss the issues related to Israel and Hamas war, geopolitics, and the matters taking place in Bangladesh at this very moment. And to suit these purposes, we have invited some guests, and they are from different countries. And on my left, Ivy Rahman. She is from Canberra, Australia. She is a poet, lawyer, justice of peace. Adv Rahman, how are you?
I'm fine, thank
Then
you, Sinha bhai.
Then Professor A.R. Khan.
Thank you very much.
Is the founding chairman of Federal Democratic Party, Bangladesh. Well, Mr. Rahman, welcome to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Kabir Ashraf alone. He is retired additional secretary. And at this very moment, he is adjunct faculty, Department of Political Science and Sociology, North-South University, one of the best private universities in Bangladesh. And Mr. Kabir Ashraf is also known as one of the best debater speakers during his student life. Then Mr. Nasir Khan Paul, a very gigantic figure indeed, and is well known to America, New York all the time. And he never stops. All the time he is going on, moving on. Why? Reason is that he is very much social and at the same time political indeed. Mr. Nasir Khan Paul, at this very moment, he is the chairman, American Republican Alliance. Well, thank you all, and let us start the talk show. And I am going to start it from Mr. Nasir Khan Paul.
Thank you.
You know very well that Hamas and Israel war is now at the worst level of understanding. Nobody understands what is going to take place. And America all the time is pushing it. And being an American citizen and chairman of Democratic Alliance,
Republican.
What are your feelings about this war? Mr. Nasir Khan Paul.
Thank you, Dr. Sinha. And it's my pleasure and honor that I can join to your show today from New York. And my greetings to all my panelists speakers. As a Bangladeshi American, we have been watching all American. From the all side of the world, we have been watching this disrupted war in Palestine and Israel. This is going worse day by day. But see, we are here in a nice living room, comfortable place, and discussing about who is right, who is wrong. But there are a lot of dead bodies on both sides. It doesn't matter you are Palestinian or you are Israeli. The people are getting killed. These are the general people, and the conditions are getting worsened. This Palestinian problem has been going on since 1947. And I think it's a never-ending game. It's just like chicken and egg thing. Who came first, chicken or egg? The same problem we got here with Palestine and Israel. But one thing you have to see, they have a dispute, they have fight. That fight was a small fight. But all of a sudden we noticed that Hamas, they attacked on a concert in Israel. a big concert and they got slaughtered 200 people. So my question is very normal question to ask yourself. We don't want to be biased here, right? This is not a religious game here. This is not a religious war. I don't believe this is a religious war. This is the war have been going on a lot of times since 47. So don't bring it as a religious war between Jew and Muslim. People are getting killed on both sides. So on humanitarian ground, we first, on behalf of the Bangladesh American Republican Alliance, I urge everyone to come to a ceasefire because a lot of life has been lost. People are not getting any supplies. You can't get in to Gaza. So we have to overcome from this situation. The first solution to ceasefire is stop killing babies, stop killing women. On both sides, we have to stop it first. Then we can try to solve it diplomatically in the table, not on the war. Because nowadays, we see what American government Biden did. Biden sent $50 billion, $50 billion to help his spoiled child Israel. We call him a spoiled child of America. We have been supplying them money. We put our armed force. We giving their arms and everything to protect them, as if Israel is a 51 state of United States of America. But actually it's not. American government, Biden have to think twice before, with the help of America, they're killing these innocent people. But anyway, we don't get any lesson from the history. Biden is killing the people by helping enhance by killing the people. But still, a lot of Bangladeshi American who are alliance with the Democrat Party, this election, they will go and vote for Biden very happily. And that's the saddest part, that people will still vote Biden after killing all these things and helping a wrong cause. So I'll urge right now, because what happened, try to understand one thing. The Palestinians are getting arms from Iran, Russia, China, any other place. What kind of arms they're getting? All the garbage that's lying in the warehouse. They are sending all the garbage arms to Gaza, to the Hamas, to fight. But brother, to the modern world, with the Israeli soldier and helping from America, is not going to work. You can't win with Israel in a war. And this is realistic. You have to admit that. Don't bring your emotion here. I'm Muslim or I'm Jew. You can't bring the emotion here. We have to see the greater picture, that we are knocking at the door of the Third World War. We are involving in the war in Ukraine, in Palestine. There are 5 countries in South Africa right now. They have a civil war, and we have been not talking about those countries. So this is a very important issue for the geopolitical situation of the world, and we have to bring the peace. And
thank you very much, Mr. Nasir. Paul will come to a Professor A.R. Khan. You are founding chairman of a political party called Federal Democratic Party. And being a chairman of a political party, you know very well what is happening inside and outside the country, especially the geopolitics very much known to you. What is your realization? Please, what is the realization?
Thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. MA Sinha for inviting me, for making me a part of this wonderful discussion. Greetings to all of my panelists and people, those are watching right now and will be watched later. Thank you so much. So first of all, I'd like to say that actually right now we are in very crucial moment, especially in Bangladesh. we are running our own race. As you know, that election is coming up. Due to elections, some blockade is going on. The general strike is going on. Some other. Still, we are in dirty politics. So, as a part of geopolitics, as far as I understand, if you talk about the issues of Palestine and Hamas, just I will add some words like that. So one thing I need to clarify from myself actually, that why the OIC has been formed, because Organization of Islamic Cooperation, it is I think the second largest intergovernmental organization in the country, so covering 57 states. So I don't know actually what is their jobs, what is their responsibilities. When the OIC has been formed, so it was saying that it will work as a collective voice of Muslims. They will work for socio-economic and socio and other political issues of Muslim world. So I don't know actually. From my childhood, I'm saying I was watching that the clash between Iraq and Iran, then Iraq with Kuwait and Palestine issues, then started Syria and other things. Why the problems with Muslim states? I don't understand. Even I don't understand why there are 30 Islamic countries or Islamic states in Arabian Peninsula or Arabian world. Even though if I talk about the politics in Bangladesh, you will find 47 Islamic political parties here in Bangladesh. I don't understand if you believe that Allah is one, so the code of conduct, Holy Quran is one, Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is one, then I don't understand why the 47 Islamic political parties here in Bangladesh, even though more than 30 states in Arabian world. So basically, actually, being a Muslim, I would say that actually we are running behind money, we are running behind luxurious life, we are running behind polygamy and other things. Actually, we're not that much concerned about geopolitics or the what do you say, the establishing the peace and happiness or prosperity in the Muslim world. That's the main thing. That's why all the rest of the other people. If you talk about the American, if you talk of the Yehudis, Jews, and others, so definitely they are doing their best of from their part. So anyway, so I think actually first of all we need to united first. That's the main things. That is our bad luck. That YC is sitting ideal. They're not doing anything. Again, I'm mentioning that this is the second largest organization in the world, right after United Nations, but they are doing nothing. So, but talk about the neighboring countries, even though Syria, the Jordan, even the Turkey, Saudi Arabia. So they don't say anything. But being a Muslim, but we are protesting far away from, because we strongly believe that all the Muslims all over the world, wherever they are, doesn't matter wherever they are, but we are trying to do something for them. Even the Muslim political parties, even the people from Bangladesh, they are also protesting what's going on in Palestine or anywhere in the world. So we are protesting, but even though the Saudi Arabia, they are quiet, they zip their mouth. They are not saying even the single word against the word of Palestine. So anyway, but Sinha, actually right now, as you know, that we are running our own race, because in Bangladesh we are not that much in good positions. Right after 53 years of independence, still actually we don't know that how the elections will be held in our country. All the political parties, the major three political parties, if I mention their name, Bangladesh Awami League, Bangladesh.
Khan, we will come to Bangladesh issue. Now, let us be
Okay.
concentrated on, yeah.
Okay. All right. So even okay. All right. Okay. So then I will say that Sinha, I will say that actually first of all, if you talk about the geopolitics, we need to organize first. We need to unite it first, so that we can have the voice. As I earlier mentioned, that when the OIC has been organized or established, it was main purpose of this organization was is a collective. It will work as a collective voice of Muslims world, but you'll never find it. So I think we need to organize first. We need to unite it first. That we have to clear our purpose actually. That actually what we want to do. You see the clashes between Iran and Iraq, clashes between Iraq with Kuwait. Even though right now you'll find some clashes between Saudi Arabia and Qatar and other things. So you cannot solve geopolitical issues like that. So you think the European Unions, if you're concerned about the European Unions, you see how the 28 countries, how they're working together. Any problems, any issues, whenever it occurs, so they're solving within minutes. They're sitting together, they're solving their problem, they're discussing. But if you talk about the OIC countries, it's a huge number of, you said 57 nations are under the command of OIC. But I don't know, I don't understand what they're doing, what we are doing being a Muslim. So that's why if you want a problem, the political, geopolitical issues belongs to the Muslim countries like Syria, Jordan, Iraq, Iran, then Palestine, and other countries, even the Bangladesh also. So I think we have to clear first our what is our purpose, what actually we are going to do, actually. Then I think everything will be solved. Otherwise, you see that someone is sending, someone is, they're involving war,
Thank you
but
very much,
nobody's
Professor
doing.
Khan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We listen to understand what your conclusion is. Now I turn to Mr. Kabir Ashraf. Mr. Kabir Ashraf, we listened to the speeches of two speakers here, and they spoke differently. Mr. Paul says from the point of view of humanity, and to him, who is Muslim, who is Jew, who is Christian, doesn't matter. Thing is that nobody is allowed to take the life of others. That is the fundamental question of his analysis. Side by side, Professor A.R. Khan, he emphasized about the unity of the Islamic Ummah, Islamic world, which is very, very poor at this very moment. As a conscious citizen of the world, cosmopolitan indeed, and you are a very knowledgeable person, what is your understanding about it?
Thank you very much, Dr. Sinha MA Sayeed, for inviting me to this very prestigious forum. And also, I'm very happy to be here today. Regarding the points raised by Mr. Paul, I almost agree with him on all the points because, when a combatant group from any particular ethnic community or any other group attacks a civilian population, the punishment should go to the combatant people who have done it. If you start to punish the civilian population that actually they are from the same combatant group, then it's not just. It's very unjust. And I think the Israeli operation in Gaza, which is now going on with full, strength and full atrocities, is setting a very bad example. It is giving justification to the idea that you can punish even the civilian populations for the actions or any kind of atrocities done by a particular militant or combatant group who belong to that community. If that is established, and I think it's already established because almost all of Europe and United States of America, Canada, all the powerful states are not only helping the Israeli operation, they are also actively participating by giving them resources and in some cases maybe ammunition. This is a bad precedence. This is a dangerous precedence. If the other nations who will have more strength in the future or who still today have strength to strike back, if they follow that same logic, that since your people, militant or some combatant people or some armed people from your group have attacked me, so I'm just annihilate all your civilian population. This is going to be established by the conduct of the not only the Israelis but also by the European and the American governments. This is very bad, and this is, unprecedented because there are some, Israeli clerics also who have said that attacking a hospital is justified. If you say like that, there is no other place to go because hospitals are, have been sacred or safe place all through the civilization for people, and this is now gone. You are attacking dropping bombs on hospitals, keeping children, killing women, everything. So this is very bad, and I don't know why the whole world is silent on this particular point. Okay, you may have some issues against the Hamas people who killed the people who are partying in Israel. That's not acceptable. If you want to strike Israel, strike them through military means to the Israeli military. Strike IDF. That's fine for you. But if you strike the civilians, you are going to, of course, get the result of it. Okay, but if the same logic, the Israelis cannot now go to demolish all buildings from Gaza and flatten it to the ground for the conducts or for the maybe from their viewpoint for the crimes Hamas has committed. This is unacceptable. That's point one. And number two is, well, as said by Professor Khan, why the Muslim world is silent. Well, now I remember one very prophetic saying by one of our very famous professors, Ahmad Safa. When I was university student, I heard him saying this. He said, because at that time Palestinians were still fighting against the Israelis, and the Arab nations, many of them, were not helping the Palestinians. And then Ahmad Safa said, well, by sending the Palestinians to fight against Israel, the Arab nations are actually sending the son of their co-wife in Bangla Shotiner Chele to catch the snake. To catch the snake. Yeah, to catch the snake. If the snake, that is Israel, is killed, it's fine. But if in the process of catching the snake, the son is killed, it's even better. Because many of the Arab states, many of them are still not democratic. They give hardly any damn to the conditions of the Palestinians. They just want to remain in power. They just want to continue their kleptocracy. And also they are in agreement with the powers like United States or like even Israel. So they will not help the Palestinians in the real sense of the term. That's why we are getting only lip service. Some of the, and regarding OIC, I think it's long in a dead horse. We shouldn't talk about OIC because during the history of this organization, it actually couldn't do anything very positive during the span of its lifetime. Okay. So this is
Dr. Kabir Ashraf, thank you very much for your analysis. And you passed a message also. Now I turn to Ivy Rahman. You are a poet, you are a lawyer, and also Justice of Peace in Australia. And definitely you have a poetic bent of mind. With this poetic bent of mind, how do you view all these things taking place in Hamas or Gaza state at this very moment?
Firstly, thank you very much, Sinha Bhai. Thank you very much, Sinha Bhai, to invite me. Through you, I thank to ABC Television for this nice talk show and bring this nice participants and speaker with me. I'm very honored and happy. Thank you very much. So, first thing, what Mr. Nasir Khan said, that Israel is a spoiled child of America. I agree with this. It is 100% correct. And then what to do when my or your child is spoiled? What to do with that child? We need to think about this. We need to think about the human rights violation. And Sinha Bhai said, I'm a poet. So as a poet, I stop watch television news because I can't tolerate that kind of picture, what coming through. Some of marinated, some of true, some of, making false picture, photo shoot. I just cannot tolerate that. I'm a very soft-hearted person. Can't see this. What the 7 years, 5 years, 6 years children did to the Israeli or Hamas, I don't know. I don't think it is related with the religion. It is violence of human dignity. It is violence of human rights. If we see that Article number 55 of United Nations, what they are saying there? They are saying that human rights is for all. Doesn't matter the race, the language, the demographic position, the religion, anything. But what we are seeing there, what happening there, it is very painful, too much painful. And the human rights term came 7 times in the United Nations when they're founding this charter, making the promotion and protection of human rights a key proposed and guiding principle of the organization. 7 times this word come, human rights. So it's deeply saddened the world, there is no human rights for this Gaza and Palestine and Israel. What they are doing. In 2021, the ceasefire happened only within 11 days. But now what's happening? I'm in Australia, in Canberra. In Canberra, I and my husband, we went 3 times for the procession to protest for this killing. We want a ceasefire. So I don't know when and why and what time it stops. What time it will be ceasefire, I don't know. But I pray from my inner heart, I pray to all humanity, please stop this. This is not right. This is very, very wrong. And about the YC, what Mr. Ashraful Khan Bhai said, it is absolutely right. YC is a dead horse. So there is no hope. We cannot hope from the OIC anything that they can do. Only we need a miracle, maybe. We don't know. Maybe a miracle can bring peace in this region. At 75 years, they are fighting. It's a long time. We don't know how long it will be going on. I'm writing my poet about this.
Yes, Ivy Rahman, thank you very much. We got your understanding and we are very aware what we are talking about. And thank you very much for your candid
Sinha, I want to add one more thing. That is,
yes,
I think every word is a contract of $1 or $1 billion for selling weapons and other things. Because otherwise, from where they're getting all the munitions or all the weapons, So this is, I think, everywhere, all over the world. I don't want any war more, but I think every war behind the war. So it's a small or big doesn't matter, but every war, I think there is a big contract. It's a contract of selling weapons and other things. So there's another thing. Actually, we should stop producing weapons all over the world. Then I think everything will be stopped automatically.
Well, thank you very much. And the chapter is over. And now
America have 93 arms factory. America have 93 arms factory. When their factory full, they supply the arms to the world. And when
exactly.
they supply to the world. So how come you stop?
So the basic point is that world is behind arms race. And America at this very moment is playing the biggest and nastiest game in Middle East. In Israel.
No, that's why we should say
openly they have openly declared that they are behind and with Israel. Israel is nothing but a carrier of American interests in America. Who says? Jesse Helms, US Senator, once upon a time he uttered this word. And you know very well, it is the creation of the big powers. And above all, let us now turn to the issues of Bangladesh. our motherland.
Mr. Sinha,
our motherland is now crying for democracy.
Before we go, can I say something, please?
Position to move with the time, democratically, and even structurally, everything is to some extent is not so viable. Well, Mr. Paul, being chairman of Republican Alliance, it means you are always in favor of getting together, living together, and compromise. Then how do you view what is happening in Bangladesh today? Mr. Paul.
Thank you very much. It's a very strong question. It's hard to answer from 13,000 miles away because you are living on that country, the guys you are living. Dr. Khan is there, and Mr. Kabir, you are there, and Dr. Sinha, you are in Bangladesh. So you are watching directly. So we must have a difference between my observation and your observation. But the world is very narrow now. We are getting all kind of information, especially from America. What's happening in Bangladesh is very saddening. I have been watching everything regarding 28 October. But sometimes the question arises, my question, that BNP and the Jamaat, they always say that government is oppressing them, they can't talk, they don't have the freedom of speech, they are arresting them left and right, the people are disappearing. All this allegation, we have been listening from the other party. But my question, when I see 28 October, millions of people from all over Bangladesh came to Dhaka for a procession. So if all the leaders and your workers are in the jail, they are disappearing from the earth, and you don't have no speech of right of speech or protest, where is all people coming from? I saw them, they're freely moving there. They freely came to America from other part of Bangladesh and in protest. I don't see any oppression there. But I don't know. Is it you are making a propaganda from outside? It looks to me it's a propaganda. Because what happened, sometimes I hear the talk show, Bangla talk show from Bangladesh, and I saw there a lot of BNP, Jamaat, and other parties leaders. They are bashing Hasina government. Even they are cursing our father of the nation on the television. They are calling names. I don't see any operation from the press. Is it made up? Is it a propaganda? And from the outside, forget it. I can name some of the people from outside of the world. Oh boy, you're talking about freedom of speech. They have freedom of speech and freedom of cursing to the government and to Sheikh Mujib, to Hasina, to Army leaders, everything they have freedom. I see Konok Sarwar, I see Pankaj, I see Ilyas, we are watching their shows. They have been talking freely. But now, when you guys are protesting, what's going on? In the name of your right, you're talking about human rights, you are talking about democracy. What happened when you killed the police officer? You injured 100 people. You attacked the Chief Justice's house. You're burning the buses. You're burning our property. You make our general public's life hell. Is that the protest? This is the way you established your point? No, sorry. I'm a freedom fighter. I was a student of first year in Dhaka University. When I went for the freedom fight, we bring this country, a lot of life has been lost. A lot of women, they lost their everything. And now you're destroying this country? No, this is not the way. This shouldn't be tolerated. You have a point? you can establish by point, but not burning your own property. Let me give you one example. We all have dispute with our son and daughter. As a father, we have dispute. If I have a dispute in my family with a son, I didn't agree with the son, what happened? He's going to destroy my TV, 70-inch TV? He's going to come with a baseball bat and destroy my refrigerator? Is that the way to protect? This is not the way to protect the family. Country is a large family. So please have some respect, and I think we should resolve this problem because we are going in a dangerous, crucial moment of Bangladesh now. After 52 years, I see a lot of progress. You have to admit that. You can't be biased. You can't be blind on politics. If you are educated...
Well, Mr. Paul, thank you very much. Thank you very much, because what you wanted to say, you'd already expressed it, Mr. Khan. You are a politician and the chairman of a political party. What Mr. Paul uttered vehemently, emphatically, and assertively. Do you have any sense of sustainable democracy at this very moment in Bangladesh? Please.
So this is very unfortunate that right after 53 years or 52 years of independence, still we are fighting for establishing democracy in our country. We failed to establish electoral system in our country. Even we don't know how the national elections will be held. Every 5 years we are facing the same problems. This is very unfortunate actually. The major three political parties, though, ruled the nation last 52 years in our political history. The Bangladesh Awami League, Bangladesh Nationalist Party (BNP), even the Bangladesh Jatiya Party. So both the parties, all the parties, they failed to establish actually the democracy in our politics. So you'll never find that actually right now, if you experiment the political issues in our country, you'll find that whatever I was talking earlier, that actually all nepotism, dynasty, and family-oriented politics. Everyone is running. Everyone is trying to establish their family members in politics. So actually, you'll never find that real democracy in our politics. So that's why what happened actually. That's why nothing is. I will say that you see the election is knocking the door, but still we don't know actually what do's and what don't do's. So I think we all have to work together. If you ask me that actually why the Federal Democratic Party has been established, because I personally want to bring a radical change in politics, especially the institutional students politics free Bangladesh, then the nepotism and dynasty free politics, then corruption free politics. So if you want to establish those things, then I think we need radical changes in our political system. Otherwise, you cannot do anything else. So right now, what you are doing every year, after 5 years, when the election comes or election is knocking our door, we are going to here and there to getting support. For example, so the running party, they are trying to get support from some other countries, and some other political parties, they are also running like a Tom and Jerry here and there to getting some helps and supports from other countries, which is not good for our politics actually. But we strongly believe that all over the 18 crore people of our country, actually they are our strength. So they're the owner of the country. So we should respect them. But if you talk about the political parties in our country, they don't have any democracy in their own politics. Even though, who will participate in the parliament elections, a person doesn't know. Even the people, those who will provide their voting rights, they don't know actually who will be their candidates. So this is like, sailing like a fish in the market. It's like that, okay, nominations are sailing. All the parties, they're selling their nominations like a fish market. So I think a lot of things should be changed right now, because we are not in a good shape right after 52 years of independence. This is very shame for all the politicians. They are talking, bug like this. They are talking too much actually, but they didn't do anything for us actually. So you see, if I even though my younger son, so he is waiting to cast his first vote in his life. So he was asking the Papa, oh, we'll be able to cast our vote in this time. So because blockade is going on, strike is going on, so Hartal is going on, a lot of things actually. I don't know actually election will be held or not. But the government, they are trying to do, they are adamant that okay, they will go for elections, even though they are trying to declare, election schedule on maybe after 12th or 13th of November. But where is electoral environment in our country? If you go to the Bangladesh, wherever you go in our country, last 2 days I was in my village, you will never find a single electoral environment in our country right now to organize the national elections. Because you see, 118,000 a case has been filed against Bangladesh Nationalist Party. I repeat, 118,000 cases filed against this party, and more than 39 lakhs all over the country. The political workers of Bangladesh National Party has been convicted. Nobody can say a single word against the government. Government is totally failed right now, totally failed to control the commodity prices, the corruptions, the child labor, even the child marriage, unemployment, nothing. Only you will find some some words like a parrots. We did a lot. Okay, we built metro rail, we built Podda bridge, we built blah blah blah. But if I talk about what about the situations of unemployment of the country, you can't imagine. If I talk about the child marriage, child labor, it's a horrible. If you talk about the corruption, you cannot do a single issue, single work in our country without having involvement of monetary involvement. Then I don't know actually right now who is running the country. Everyone is a prime minister right now, because what is happening right now. For example, if you are purchasing egg today is a piece of 15 taka, tomorrow you will buy is a piece of egg at 20 taka. There is no monitoring system, no commodity price, no controlling of commodity prices, nothing else. So even the law and order situation also, I think there is out of control, because right now Bangladesh is, you can say that all the four pillars of the of the country, like if I say the first of all, the constitution of Bangladesh. If you talk about that, then executive body of our country. Then if you talk about our media, all the pillars of our country right now is controlled by the government. So right now there is no freedom of speech. You cannot say a single word against the Awami League, even though the political leaders of the Awami League also. So we want to change radical changes in these issues, because country never runs like that actually. After 42 years of independence, when the even the during the liberation war, so why we have been separated from Pakistan? Because of unity, because of the, what do you say, the democratic rights, then socio-economic conditions, then equality. But you see now you will not find anything that in our country. So I
Well,
think,
Mr.
oh,
Professor
I think yes, yeah, yeah. I think we need some changes. We need some changes. I strongly believe that without this, another 5 years will fight. We'll lost a lot of lives, but things will go on like previous. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Kabir Ashraf, you are
Okay.
very conscious citizen. At the same time, you know so many things. My simple asking to you, not a question, asking to you. Professor Yar Khan, being a political leader, he echoed the voice that Bangladesh needs a radical change, even not the reform. It means he is in favor of Renaissance. And do you believe Renaissance or reform? Which is more important at this very moment?
Okay. Thank you very much for this question. I'm not a politician. You all know that. You understand that. And regarding the environment, political environment prevailing within the country, we all are a little bit apprehensive. Before talking to a forum like this, I somehow remember one of the very famous saying of President Idi Amin of Uganda. So those who are senior, they know about Idi Amin. He was an abject dictator. And once he was asked by a journalist, Mr. Amin, do you have freedom of speech in your country? Then Idi Amin said, yes, I can guarantee freedom of speech. But sorry, I cannot guarantee freedom after speech. So that's a big problem, you see. That's why sometimes we have to be very careful. And since you are saying about Renaissance or reform or whatever it is, well, we need a lot of overhauling in our system, because though we are structurally a democratic nation, our society is not yet democratic. Our families are not democratic units. Okay, that's fine. We can live with that. And even our political organizations, as Mr. Khan has already pointed out, those are not also democratic. Those are like tribal organizations where the leaders are everything. And the followers always try to place all their trust on the person of the leader. At the end of the day, the leaders turn out to be very autocratic and despotic. That naturally and normally happens. Unfortunately, the failure in Bangladesh, whatever is there, is actually a failure of leadership. Leaders have failed to take the people along with them in their course or in their voice to democracy. The people still love those leaders who are more authoritarian in their approach, who are more demagogue in their speech, and who are also more, I mean, what can I say, possessive regarding their the rights on everything. One thing should be done immediately. The Bangladesh political parties and their leadership should realize that democracy is something which is also a matter of understanding, matter of philosophical dimension. Because why a political party which is in power should say that the opposition cannot organize a movement, so we will not listen to them? Why? But even if 1 lakh people come out to the street and chant a slogan against something, democracy requires that you should listen to them. Because majority is democracy. Okay, fine, majority must be granted. But the essence of democracy is that minority should be respected. That is democracy. The voice of the minority is more important in a democratic society, because otherwise this voice will be subdued, this voice will be negated, this voice will be denied by the party in power or the authority in power. So it's good, it should be good enough if a political party comes out with 50,000 supporters chanting a slogan regarding some issues. That's good enough. Don't wait for that party to organize more people and then at the end of the day do some violence and do some, I mean, fireworks on the street. That's not good. If you are waiting for that, then you are actually giving a recipe for disaster. Political parties should have that sense that there could be opinions beside our own. There could be people who have their own demands, which are not actually those of ours. So one political party, if it is in power, it should have the sympathy, it should have the feeling, it should have the broadness, and it should have the political sagacity to understand what the people are wanting. If it goes against their own sentiment, they should try to talk out the issue. That's democracy. Democracy is not You are taking everything because you are the winner. So whatever we think, whatever we feel, that should be the order of the day. That's not democracy. The problem in Bangladesh is that. So we need a radical overhauling of our mental thinking process, especially among the leaders of the political parties.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Kabir Ashraf. He spoke very well. Now the question and asking to Ivy Rahman. You are a lawyer and especially working in the field of human rights. How do you make a plain picture of human rights in Bangladesh at this very moment? Be free, fair, and frank, realistically and idealistically. Please, Ivy Rahman.
Thank you, Sinha bhai, for your very strong question for the Bangladesh at present, what we are going through. So, first I go with Mr. Professor A.R. Khan, that he need and he want a radical change in Bangladesh politics. So we have to change from myself, from me, from my home. If my home, my family is not well educated about anything, then I can't do anything for my society. If my society is not educated, society cannot do anything for the country. We have to educate people, we have to educate them in a way what is democracy is. It is by the people, for the people, of the people, by the people, for the people. So this thing we do not apply in our everyday life or our political life. I'm not a politician. Sinha bhai say I'm a lawyer. Yes, I'm a lawyer. But from here, what I can see in Bangladesh in current situation, it gives me a sadness. It should not be like this. When I came to Australia 30 years before, that time's Bangladesh and this Bangladesh, much, much different. So that time when I used to tell my Australian colleagues that I'm from Bangladesh, they never knew what is Bangladesh is, where it is this Bangladesh. So I have to explain them, it is near India, blah, 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 something like this. We have the freedom fight. They even don't know. Now, if I tell them I'm from Bangladesh, they know, yes, you are from Bangladesh. We know you because you are doing a very good cricket. You are doing a very good economic development, many development doing in your country. And once we celebrate our Prime Minister's birthday in online, in COVID time, and we invite one of our ex-chief minister in Canberra and the senator. And what he said, that he said, Ivy, I salute your prime minister. In the age of 77 years, she is doing the job is unbelievable. So that gives me such a proud. I always tell whenever my Bangladesh comes to me, I can say my 2-line Bengali poem. I said always, Chokher kone joler resh, o amar Bangladesh. So I'm very emotional about my country. In the same time, I'm very positive thinker. I'm very positive thinker in the way that Mr. Professor A.R. Khan said, the price of potato, price of egg. In Australia, we used to buy one lettuce 99 cents. That lettuce we are buying now $14. No one ever protest. No one ever asked the Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, what is going on? We are buying tomatoes. Previously, it was $1, maybe $1.50. Now that is $13, $14. No one never protests. No one never cursed the Prime Minister. That is education. we have to understand the situation around the country, around the world, around the geopolitics, around the demographical situation, everything related. So I forgot what is Sinha Bhai asked me about the Bangladesh situation. I understand. Yes, the Bangladesh situation currently, I heard from my friends, from my family member, that hartal going on, that firing going on, school, college, that is educational thing interrupted. That is normal thing. All the time is happening to Bangladesh. All the time happens to Bangladesh because we are not educated ourselves. We have to educate first our people. We are not doing that. We need to educate our people about the democracy. What is democracy for? It's a democratic country. We need understand what is democracy is for.
Thank you very much, Ivy Rahman.
I don't know.
For your...
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Sinha.
Thank you very much. You spoke from your own standpoint. At the same time, you made some comparison between Australia and Bangladesh in the vegetables items. And there is a protest, there is no protest. And thing is that why there is a protest, there is no protest. This is because of transparency and democratic values of the country. Here, democracy is at stake. Human rights is at stake, which are not in Australia. That is the basic question. Well, Mr. Nasir
in Australia, if there is a national question comes out, all the political party united together. And in Bangladesh, we do not have any unity. We do not have any respect. We do not have any...
Well, thank you very much, because the political system is very much different and the people are different. Australia is only... Bangladesh has more than 20 million people and the area is 55,000 square miles, but it is not comparable with Australia. Well, but we understand the pulse and aspirations of your speech and sentiments. Well, Mr. Paul, you listen to what the three speakers already said. And now my last asking to you, what type of Bangladesh you want to have in the coming days? Speak very realistically, not so idealistically, please.
Thank you very much. So, you already draw a conclusion that I'm not speaking realistically, which is very saddening for me, that you draw a conclusion as a whole, that I'm not talking realistically.
No, I am not saying this. I am saying you is realistically, you say what type of Bangladesh you want.
Okay. I think this kind of your forum, it's like a speech. I like if your forum is a little different, if you have a follow-up question. We have been discussing, but I have something to say regarding any speaker. I don't have any scope to say. It could be better in next time. If you do that follow-up question, like the American way, it could be much better for the speaker or the participants. Thank you very much. Let me tell you one thing about democracy. You have been talking a lot about democracy. Democracy is such a thing. Let me give you one French philosopher. Once he said, I might disapprove what you're saying, but I would fight till my death for the right of your saying. See, that's called democracy. I might disapprove. That's the beauty of democracy. But in one question from Mr. Professor Khan, I like to say, there is no democracy in the party of Bangladesh. I 100% agree that. Because when I see the 300 parliamentary position, nomination come from London and nomination come from our Prime Minister alone, that's not a democracy. This nomination, you should have a nomination committee among your party, very strong, which old party members, very renowned party members. You should have a, group of people who is going to decide that who is going to run for your party. It shouldn't be handled by one person. It doesn't matter. You are a prime minister or you are sitting in London, you're spending £350,000 yearly without any source of income. I don't buy that. That's not democracy. You have to bring the democracy among your party, because we don't have. Plus, another thing Mr. Khan mentioned, Professor Khan, that dynasty, family dynasty should stop. Should stop this, because this is not kingship in Bangladesh. We fought for this country. Our leader, our father of the nation, fought for this country to bring the democracy among not only top level, among the poor people even. So this democracy should be practiced among the parties first, and I hope this coming election, the nomination will be nominated by a bunch of people, not by a single person. Another thing, to enjoy the democracy, like Ivy Rahman says, that you have to be educated. You have to be educated to understand democracy. I think Bangladesh in this political situation and the tolerance of the people we saw is not ready for real democracy. So you have to change yourself to bring the democracy. But one thing I would say that Hasina government, that look, you guys are doing Padda Setu, big buildings, bridges, tunnel. It's all right. Rupur, Atomic Energy Center, it's fine. Country have to move. But you have to think about, there are a lot of 6 crore of people, they are living under the poverty line. 6 crore of people is still living under the poverty line. You have to think about those people, about the prices, the commodities, the price of rice, the price of vegetables. The people couldn't afford. Every time.
Well, Mr. Nasir Khan Paul. Well, Mr. Nasir Paul, yes.
Can you give me 1 minute?
Yes. You have 1 minute's time only. 1 minute, please.
Okay. So I'll urge this government, please, these poor people don't need your building. They are not getting benefited with your buildings and other things. Side by side, building is all right. Side by side, you have to drop the price. You have to make the life of the poor people in Bangladesh comfortable. That's why you are sitting over there for 14 years. So I'll urge this government, please, during the election time or after the election time, do something for those poor people who can bring the food in their dinner table comfortably. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul. Mr. and Professor Air Khan, Mr. Paul has very explained or analyzed what type of Bangladesh he wants in the near future. And there is challenging task indeed. And what the challenge is as a political leader you find to put his dream into practice as a political leader.
No, actually, but Sinha bhai, actually, my opinion is very clear. Actually, what is our expectation from the people, from the government, and from the political parties? Not from my party, all the political parties, because unity is very important. As mentioned earlier, that Ivy Rahman said that we don't have any political unity. Actually, this is true. So even though being a political leader, I cannot go to, or I cannot participate, or I can attend any wedding program of any political leaders. Like, for example, if Awami League leaders invite someone from another party, they will never go there, because the relations between the interpolitical parties like that. There is no social gathering, there is no social events. They are not even sitting together. Even though if you go to mosque, if I heard that okay, Mr. X is going there, so I am going to another mosque. So like that. So it's all about political revenge. It's all about political violence. Is all about political clashes. Actually, I mentioned you earlier that we fail to establish democracy in our politics. That's why we need to, first of all, we need to establish democratic rights, even the democracy in our politics. Instead of like, as I mentioned earlier, then instead of like nepotism, dynasty, and other things. So we have to work together for betterment of our country, so that we can have a violence-free politics, we can have a revenge-free politics, we can work together for betterment of our country. Even though I want to mention another things, some words we are using, some sentences we are using in our country, which is dividing our nation. For example, if I say in Bengali like that, okay, Jamaat, then Shrir, then Shadinata Birodi, then Mukti Juddha Birodi, Mukti Juddha Chetona. I think we should stop saying these words, because some sentences, some words are dividing our nations. I think we should say that we are Bangladeshi, we are Bangladeshi, and we are Bangladeshi. Nothing else. We are son of soil of this soil. So we shouldn't say any words those dividing us. Even though you say this kind of, you will say all of the political leaders using say, okay, this man is a anti-liberation war or something like that. He's a Mukti Juddha Birodi, something like that. I think he's a Jamaat, he's a Shibi. We shouldn't say like that actually, because right after 53 years, the man who is 60 years old right now, at the time of liberation war, he was only 7 years old. But after 53 years, you are searching for Jamaat, you are searching for anti-liberation or something like that. So I think we should discard all the terms, all the terminology. Those are dividing us. Number one. Number two, I think we need to sit together, all the political parties, set up a strong independent election commissions. Because if you compare with the Indian Election Commission, so all over the world, that election commission is mentioned that this is the world's strongest institution in the world for organizing elections. But we failed to establish the election commission is an independent, strong election commission. So electoral system also need to establish. So that's why the strikes, then blockades, and you see the hotfall is not the solutions. After last 15 years, the government failed to establish the electoral system in Bangladesh. Even I told you that how the election will be held, the 12th national parliament election will be held. We don't know actually. We don't know what will happen, because right from tomorrow, then another 2 days blockade will be going on. So Sunday and Monday. Then government is declaring.
You have only 1 minute, please.
Okay, government is planning to declare the election schedule, but still there is no political environment, there is no electoral environment right in our country. Because even the funny thing is that today the 4th November, the meeting was held between the 44 registered political parties with the election commission. Tell me who will represent Bangladesh Nationalist Party, because all the political leaders from A to Z, they are convicted, they are in jail. So how we will talk? So these are the things actually. The false cases, then people disappearing. Ivy Rahman is working with human rights. More than 2,000 people has been disappeared last 15 years. So nobody is talking about that. So that's why, Sinha, I will say that now it's time to talk. Now it's time to sit together, not for dynasty, not for establishing my son or my family members in all over the world like the present government is doing. So I will say one thing, that means we want student politics free, we want corruption free, we want nepotism and dynasty free, democracy in our politics. So let's sit together, find a solution for our betterment of our country, for our betterment of our nation. Thank you, Sinha. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Well, Dr. Kabir Ashraf, you spoke very idealistically, without having any touch with the reality in Bangladesh at every moment. To some extent, evasive indeed, but you can't do it. You are a professor in such university, which is center of knowledge in Bangladesh, North-South University. So you give us some lights. What can be done, please?
Well, thank you very much. I actually tried not to be idealistic. I just tried to be a little bit, formal, because if I spend much time on the individual political parties, that actually cannot do any good to such, forum. I find that both the parties, the government party and the opposition, now are actually set on a coalition course. And this is very bad for the nation. And actually, politicians who are in power, they think that politics is a zero-sum game. If I allow or accommodate the opposition in some specific areas or some specific, field of administration, I may be losing my part of the cake, my piece of the cake. That's not true. Even if they accommodate the political parties from the opposition and other parties, the situation can be very much good for them. They can also create additional values. So the situation we are now facing is very unfortunate, and probably we are not learning from history. I remember George Santayana's famous saying, those who not learn from history are destined to repeat it. So we are repeating the same mistakes again. We are going through the same course. Unfortunately, it will land us in a terrain which will not be good for any of us. We are going to malign very powerful, international players for nothing. The power isn't that precious. Power isn't that dear. Why are you talking about power in such a manner that it's your own? No, power should be from the people. So we should be very careful about power. People's power should give more benefit to the people. Don't put the people in a place or in a position where they will be affected by any of the decisions of the international players. You like it or not, there will be some repercussion in the way you are dealing it. Unfortunately, we cannot avoid it. So I would request to all the politicians who are actually at the helm of the affairs, who can actually take very important decisions. Don't put all your nation in jeopardy. Think about them and try to make some accommodation, make some adjustment, and make some space for your political opponents. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kabir Ashraf. And our concluding speech shall come from Ivy Rahman. You are a mother. You are a guardian. You know how to nurse the family. You know how to nurse the nation. Napoleon says, give me a mother. And our Bengali hero, Subhash Bose, says, give me a mother, I will give you a nation. What is your focus on Bangladesh at this very moment? Please.
Thank you, Sinha Bhai, for your question. Yes, of course, Napoleon said that, give me an educated mother, I will give you an educated nation. Yes. I will tell you two examples. Recently, I visited Brunei. What I seen there, Brunei Sultan, I do not want to tell anything about his personal life or any other thing, but what he is doing for his people, even though that is not a democratic country, that is, they follow the Sharia law. But the Brunei Sultan's order, since last 35 years, every single goods price for the people is the same, no increase. And in the Ramadan time, the price go half. That is the order from the Brunei Sultan. And when I was Brunei, I dreamed the same thing for my country, Bangladesh. I don't know when it will happen or ever again happen in our country, but I dream about that Sultan's order for his people if work in my country. And then again, very recently from Fiji, the Fijian Prime Minister came to Australia, as our Australian Prime Minister invited him to visit Australia, Canberra. When he come here, he selected one date for his people. And fortunately, I and my husband was invited there. So I was surprised to see such a humble and what I say, a human prime minister who gave his time for a whole day for his Fijian people who lives in Canberra. And he tell in his speech that I am your servant. I may be holding the position of Prime Minister of Fiji, but I am a public servant and I am your servant. I'm working for your well-being, for my country, for my people, nothing else. And to make a good relationship with the world, with my treaty countries. And the Fijian people believe him, respect him. In Bangladesh, we do not have this thing. If our Prime Minister says such a thing, our people will say, oh, she definitely have some evil plan. That's why she's making that such a comment. So we do not have respect. We do not have unity. Again, the same thing, no respect, no unity. In Australia, when anything coming for the country, all the parties united together. That time they forget who is liberal, who is labor, who is green, who is National Democratic Party, they forget. Because they love their country. And our political party, our politician, they don't love their country. They only love their position. Only love their bank balance.
Love their family.
Only love their family, of course.
Family.
So
Only love their family.
I agree with Mr. Ayar Khan. We need to stop this dynasty thing. Of course, we need a democratic, good government. And as a mother, I teach my children whatever I think good for them. I teach from them from their childhood. And I'm so proud and I'm so humble to God. I tell every day to him that you give me two human son. And in Canberra, everybody tell me, your two sons such a humble. My elder son gave his Father's Day gift. What he did for his father name, he sent money to the Yemen. He said, Mom, I cannot see there's those innocent childhood dying. So I send them money for their 6-month food. This is Father's Day gift for my dad. So why I give it this example? To tell you that I teach my children like this. So we have to educate from our own home. Then we educate our society, our country. We have to love our country. If we love our country, we'll never destroy anything in our country. So I hope and I believe Bangladesh one day, and have to be, is a democratic, purely democratic country, because Bangladesh is Bangladesh. And there is no compare between Bangladesh and any other country. I believe that from my view of aspect, because I'm a very optimistic person, I always think positive. And even when last time I visited Bangladesh, I feel so good that everybody doing something. I finally find some beggar in Dhaka to give something. Everybody doing something. Somebody selling something, somebody cycling, some Uber, Patao. everybody have mobile phone. So I just love it. That is kind of development in our country. But I don't know about the rural area, what they are living there. But in Dhaka, I feel good. It's a good feelings. At the end of the day, we have to love our country. We should learn from India, our neighbor country, how much love they have for their country. They can do anything for their country, but we can't. We're only doing for ourselves. That is why the problem is. And we do not have respect. Still today, we do not have that same respect for our father of the nation. Still, we are divided to give him such a respect. Still, we are in confusion. We confused. Who is father of the nation? So we are not united. We have to be united. All the political parties have to sit together. We have to make a solution. Solution is not a hartal, not a dharmaghat, not a jalao porao. Solution is talk, সংলাপ. We need a strong opposition political party to build up such good government, democratic government. And I believe people like Professor A.R. Khan, who is demanding and wanting for a radical change for our political party, for our country, who love our country, they should bring that for our Bangladesh. I believe so. Thank you very much, Sinha bhai.
Thank you very much, you all. You performed very well while we were talking about Israel and Hamas at the same time, touching on the issues in Bangladesh. And all of you are of the same understanding that Bangladesh is at its stage, which are not very much hopeful. Lack of understanding between and among the political parties is one of the basic reasons, because it is called confrontational politics. We are at the deep of confrontational politics because we cannot open our mind to my friend. Friend belong to another party, I belong to another party, one party. That is the biggest problem which Professor A.R. Khan cited. And Mr. Nasir spoke. He spoke from his own standpoint and emphasized no more dynastic politics. Who is Mr. A.R. Khan says, who is Mr. Kabir Ashraf said, who is Ivy Rahman said. The main issue is that Bangladesh needs democracy without dynastic rule. Bangladesh needs democracy with inner politics, with inner democracy. Bangladesh needs politics and institution which must be sustainable. Without sustainable democracy, sustainable understanding, sustainable society, and sustainable development, everything will mix the moist. And that is the biggest crisis for us. And that's why sometimes it is said, who runs Bangladesh? It is said, spiritually, it is Almighty Allah who has taken a special responsibility to take care of Bangladesh. Why it is so? Because when people or the population feel that they are very much disturbed, very much neglected, and nothing to say, that's why the question arises. Almighty Allah is the only resort to take care of us. This is not democracy. This is the deviation from the democracy, deviation from the rule, deviation from asking, deviation of morality. Let us take a vow that we, the people in Bangladesh, especially these 5 persons here, let us take vow. We will practice democracy in a family, in a society, in a school, in college, in association. That is the most fundamental question. Let the political party first prove that we practice inner democracy. Without practicing inner democracy, how can you expect national democracy national level? That is the big gap. And to some extent, I say, from the point of view of politics and political science, it is a kind of evasive play. Let this play be stopped. We are a nation with a big history, long history, glorious history, and we prove we can. But only question is that the basic problems, number of problems in Bangladesh are political parties, and political leaderships. Let us pray to Allah to keep them safe in a proper mood and manner. Thank you very much, all.
Thank you.
Thank you.